Raj, you are now being featured on the Losers Cam.
Bring it to the table, let me show you how to win. This is for my players from the barbecues to the bench. We came to have a good time, plus we love the tricks. Homie thought he had me, then I hit him with a double six. Throwing bones, we not playing with your man when we throwing bones. It's insane in this game when we throwing bones. Throwing bones, throwing bones. Yeah.
This is Throwing Bones, and while we talk, I will kick y'all ass. So that's where we gonna start there.
You already talking.
You know how it go.
To set the stage, y'all are pros, and I'm more of a beginner in my Bones journey.
So there's the disclaimer.
Yeah. But she, went to Stanford, got the brains to know how to add up the math real quick.
I still plan to bust y'all tails.
I wouldn't expect it no other way.
Let's go.
A lot of competitive people at the table today, so
Let's get it.
let's take that one way or another.
Take 7, Ros. Micah, how'd you first start playing domino?
Man, I first got old dude named Jay. Jay was the clubby at the White Sox in spring training. Mm-hmm. He used to drink a lot at the stadium. And he would bring me back to the back around the washing machines and stuff after the practices, after the games. And we played back there and played dominoes. He'd be drinking and stuff, and that's how I learned. But after the games, back there, old Jay, man, had his little keyboard.
Old Jay. Shout out to old Jay with the White Sox. You done set him up for an ass whooping, Jay.
Hey,
Big
man.
6.
Who got it? Ros got it.
I don't got it.
I don't got it.
Big 5.
I ain't got it.
Nope.
All right, Big 4. Big 4 it is. There's the spinner. Micah, I've heard.
Hold on, bro. Already digging in.
Oh my God, this is not going to end well for you. I've heard in baseball just about how much time y'all spend in the clubhouse. Like, can you walk me through, say, a 4 p.m. game, if there's ever a 4, like what does that day look like?
Man, it's crazy, man. You look at, people don't really understand what goes into it. We'll say 7 p.m. game.
I get points, right?
So this is 8.
8.
And then plus 6.
6.
So it's 14.
14, so I need a 1.
You can't score right now.
Oh, no?
I mean, I can look at my hand and tell there's no way for you to score right now.
Damn.
Also, just so we're clear, in order for you to get on the board, you have to score 10 first. And then you can score 5s.
I respect it.
But
All
it
right,
is
so
your
I can
goal.
play a 4, though.
Yeah, I mean, you can. However, if I were you,
Yes.
I would save the 4. And the reason I would save the 4 is because once somebody put a 4 on this side finally, you can still use that 4 on these sides because it's the spinner. So if I were you, I would actually not play the 4. But
So I'm gonna play that 6 I had.
and then I'm gonna feel like I'm cheating because I'm gonna score. But that would be the right play.
Okay, no, I appreciate this is how you were when we were with the Warriors. You always try to help put me on game and explain what was happening on the court.
Absolutely, because it'd be a lot of BS going on that they don't really share with us. They don't really let us in on. So you gotta stick together. And remember, that's the first 10. Ain't no Big 5 nowhere around. I am certain of that.
So this is a locker room game or not really right now?
It's not really.
Or does it change up?
Here I go.
Clay and I mean, we'll play, but only as long as Clay can stand to play.
Right.
And then his attention span go by the wayside. He's like, I want to take a break, and we never play again. But
Clay's got to be the most unintentionally funny person on the team.
it's the best. What were some of y'all clubhouse games?
Man, we played them all, man. Because we would
We're getting lucky.
It's a good play.
what we got here is 13.
When the student takes on the teacher.
That was a good play.
Damn,
That's 15 of them.
15 other things, Ros.
Right. So right now I'm trying to get 12, 13. There's already 15.
Yeah, so for instance, if you got 1-6, you'd have 20 points.
Right. I don't got nothing.
Or if you have blank 4, you will have 15 points.
I don't. So what I'm gonna do is this.
Yeah, that's about as best as you could do. Hurt me. But what were some of y'all clubhouse games that y'all?
I mean, we were there, 7 o'clock game would get there at noon.
Jesus Christ.
Game ends at 10. You got to decompress after the game. So we decompress playing games. Spades was big. some dominoes, but like you have so much downtime.
Yeah.
Like that's what people don't realize. They see like
So
these
much
big
downtime.
contracts from these MLB guys. But now that I'm out the game and I'm starting to like hang around these players, I'm like, oh man, you really don't have time.
Yeah.
Like you are at the field from noon until midnight, 162 days out the year. And then you got spring training, which is another month and a half, 2 months. One thing I regret about baseball is not, or it's tough about baseball, you don't get exposed to stuff outside the world. So like I look at like basketball players, for example. You guys are always in some investments, always understanding tech, that stuff we didn't really have time, we don't have time for. So like when I got out of the game, I felt like I was underexposed to so much. Like I felt like I was like embarrassing how I didn't know some stuff. And you've been on investing for a minute. Like you teach me stuff. You know, I look at stuff you guys do, like your team, like a lot of guys on your team that are investing and stuff. It's just different. And so that's one thing I hope like kind of change a little bit.
I feel like that's like a new wave right now for sports and athletes, you know, where the new flex really is, you know, your investments, your equity. At first it was getting away from the cash and into the equity. And now I feel like celebrities and athletes are like, you know what? We're the venture capitalists.
Yeah.
You know?
Taking advantage of these platforms, because I think when you look at it now, so many things are driven by influence. And it's not so much so that I'm overly capable of running a fund, but what the access has allowed us to do is build relationships with those that are overly capable of running the fund. And then you're just learning. And you kind of get to that point one day where you're like, okay, I can do this now, you know? But initially, it's just about building those relationships. I'll never forget, Peter Guber used to always tell me the most important capital in the world is relationship capital. It spends way better and it goes way further than any dollar could ever go. And I think that was some of the best advice that I have received. So I've always been a relationship type of person and build relationships. But to understand that and to hear that from someone that has so much success, like it's been everything for me. Like I'll put my Rolodex up with just about anyone. And another thing he would say is, Draymond, you may do something in the relationship over here, 10 things over here. And then you get here and you like, I did all of that shit over here and it came out to nothing. He said, but then something will magically happen over here. He said, that wasn't magic. That was all the work you did over here. And that, for me, to learn that at the beginning of my career was huge.
And from what I'm learning
You're
about...
making me pull, Ros.
Ooh, come on. Get lucky.
Here we go.
You shouldn't have sat behind me. See, you thought you had strategy.
That's a nickel.
He's like, shut up. But I feel like the difference, like what's separating a lot of people, like, is information about deals. So if you already got the access flow and the deal flow, and then capital sometimes. And then there's a ton of people with capital that just need the access.
Absolutely.
You know, and I remember Andre Iguodala telling me, like, if you're gonna be walking these sidelines of the Warriors and you're not paying attention to who's there and talking and making connections, you miss the point. The questions you should be asking here aren't just about basketball spacing on the court or you know, are you gonna back cut? You need to be thinking bigger than that. And, you know, I remember him challenging me in that way, and I know he talks to a lot of the players, and like now, I've quietly been building my investment portfolio. And then at the level that I'm at, I have more access than I have training. So access to information or deal flow. So I actually joined a group too, like that is putting more capital in the hands of underrepresented angel investors. And like letting the decisions on where the money goes come from people like myself, women, black people. And it also helped me have more capital.
So for you, you're still not on the board, so that 5 won't work for you?
Wait, what? You said if the points were already the first 10, after the first 10.
You didn't score 10. You have
Oh,
you
I have
yourself have to score 10.
All right, I'm staying with it.
I just pulled this garbage. I just pulled some more garbage. By me. I feel like so many people are either Stanford graduates in this space, Stanford graduates, or children go to Stanford, donors of Stanford. They weren't giving y'all that while you were actively playing for Stanford?
On how to be a angel investor? No.
Or just how to build these relationships that could possibly help you somewhere down the line.
I mean, 100% that was happening organically. And I definitely think going to Stanford changed my life. It changed the outcomes and what was possible. It changed my network. Almost everything I'm doing in television and everything that's positive in my career, I could probably trace back to Stanford and like an original connection or introduction coming from somebody there. And I'm from New York, I'm from Queens. And I think, part of like my Nigerian heritage too, and a lot of what I took from my father. Like, I have a lot of heart, and I'm a hustler, and I learn fast, and I aspire for more. So I've always been somebody who wasn't afraid of hard work and willing to learn. And I try to be at least aware and understand and be able to anticipate as like new trends are evolving, so that way I could try to be active and participate. And I found that's really helped me take jumps and elevate myself, Yeah.
That's amazing. Whose go is it?
Is it? Oh,
It's
no.
yours.
Is it me?
It's yours.
What happens if I finish all my things?
Then you domino.
But I don't have any points.
And so what would normally happen is so what would normally happen is so now we're going to introduce the term the backman, which is the person that's behind you that allows you to domino. You get the points out of their hand. So whatever he has in his hand, you add them up. You get those points out of his hand. However, in order for you to get backman points, you have to be on the board. And you're not on the board. So if you domino right now and you don't score 10 or 15 points right now, then we just wash and you go first, but you don't get no points.
Does the game end there too?
No. So we played a 150.
Okay, cool.
So domino.
Do you already know what I have?
I think you have to knock. Because if you don't have big one or blank one, all the fours are out here.
Yeah, all the sixes.
So
And the last six is right here.
All right, so I know.
So
what's that right there? That's 7, that's 8, that's 10.
and if I'm not mistaken, you should knock again. Because what I'm certain you don't have is deuce.
Okay.
So
The only way I could really play right now is a 2, 4, or 1.
Not really play, that's the only way you can. So, yeah. And that's 10.
Wow, I'm so embarrassed. I don't want to be left on 0.
Oh, no, I mean, it'll happen for you at some point. It'll definitely happen at some point. And
I was hoping for some beginner's luck.
again, it's by you. And so, you get 15 out of my hand. And that's that. And now I got to wash 15 out of my hand. So I understand that both of you are heavily involved. You in a very, very, very serious way, which I'll get right to, but in the NFT space. And I must say a space that I am a dinosaur in.
With the NFT space, really, I got into it back when it was like 100 people maybe in it. So I wasn't making money in the MLB like the Juan Sotos, But shit that out of nowhere, I was like, oh, you got a baby coming. So I really didn't have money. And so that's kind of how I got into it as a way to kind of build leverage against the spaces that wouldn't let me in the first place. A gallery wasn't giving me any play, so I was gonna go build leverage against them while putting food on the table for my family and rewarding collectors. You know what I'm saying? So
Absolutely.
But it's here to stay. You think about the blockchain technology and the fact that you have, you can prove digital ownership. Everybody, when they would come up to you, I probably went early in your career, probably sign this, sign that. Now it's selfie, selfie, selfie.
Absolutely.
I'm gonna prove I was next to Draymond, on the blockchain. It's that simple. It's really not how crazy people make it or technology-wise, it's that simple.
Tell him about Aku, because I'm a big supporter of him. So how'd you come up with Aku? Who is Aku?
Yeah, I'll tell him after he gets done washing. Let's relish in this moment.
He's only gonna do that once. So what's the score?
The sweet
Score
sound.
is, Micah is ahead with 35. I have 25
Hey,
and
Micah.
you have 0.
Okay, I knew that.
You can turn it around quick, Ron.
Your score is a part of the game. No, but would definitely love to hear more about Aku.
Yeah, no doubt. My whole art was based around the idea, my nephew asked if astronauts could be black. Back when I was just painting in Raleigh, North Carolina in my garage, I started painting him as an astronaut. And those were my paintings. I wasn't doing it for no other reason, just to show him on FaceTime. And I started like getting into the gallery, showing him as an astronaut. And people liked those. It resonated with people. That idea that people felt like there were limits to their dreams. And instead of taking this character, black astronaut, never see his face, never talks, but he's confident. Like he's not some like superhero that's corny and like the typical, I was a nerd. Nah, dude got confidence. Like he's confident in his dreams. I didn't want to take him straight to Hollywood or take him straight to a film, 'cause I didn't want to give up ownership. Like I was like, I don't need to. So I released it as an NFT. I was like, oh shit, I don't even know what this is about to do. And we released it as an NFT. First minute of the sale, it was sold $1 million in 1 minute.
And then that $1 million goes to you, or is it then broken up into
Me. First minute, $1 million.
It's crazy.
I'm just really trying to build something that, like, I own. Like, that's what kind of made me upset about baseball and why I walked away. No matter how well I did, up top, if they needed something else, like, they had control of my career. Like,
Absolutely.
Like, I'm not trying to, like, I do deals and partnerships with people because there's right times and places, people, like you said, who are experts in this area. But you know, I'm not trying to give up ownership over something that I created. This is about legacy. And I had a chance, very few times do, like, especially as black creators or as black entrepreneurs, do you have a chance to build leverage, have the gun. We had millions of dollars in the bank to build a company around a character and IP and relationships and connections, you know? I'm not gonna give that up over some, like, like we're gonna try to build something really, really big.
Sorry.
Yeah.
Is it me?
Nope. He want that nickel. That nickel gonna cost you, by the way.
I don't think so.
Boop, boop, boop. So there's no way for me to get 10 points right now.
Impossible for you to even score right now.
Okay. I'm just trying to make sure I set myself up. I do want to make it clear, though, that in the last game, I did get a multiple of 5.
For sure, no,
It
you
wasn't like I
definitely.
didn't do anything in the last game.
No, you didn't score.
You definitely.
There's no moral victories at this table. You did not score.
And I'm just talking about the mindset of a collector for NFTs. There is substance in the actual technology and like transparency, you know, being able to see everything, all the transactions, all the actions happening on the blockchain, like a ledger of it. That could be really useful for a lot of industries. And then here's the real thing. I think NFTs are exciting because you own it.
Yes.
So ownership is a concept. Which one is mine? Is it my turn?
It's on you.
Okay.
But we listening to you preach. This is good.
Multifaceted.
So I feel like ownership is a concept that like a lot of people don't get to think about. Like only the really, really rich usually get to think about ownership, and like everyday people usually just consume and that's it until they die. There's a concept here that like makes sense, that like everyday people should get in on the things that they believe in and like have conviction around and spend money on. So anyway, there's a number of reasons why I think like the technology is dope, but to come back to getting in on it, I started with NBA Top Shot. I'm in the books.
You are in the
I'm in the books.
You are in the books.
There you go. There you go.
I hope they didn't see me. I was doing, it was like that meme with like the beautiful mind
There
and
you
like.
15.
Go ahead, get you that.
All right, I'm out. This was fun.
Get that.
That was great.
Shit, go ahead, let me get that 20.
20?
What'd I do?
Nothing? That's 16.
Damn.
It's beautiful. It's okay.
Beautiful. Okay.
I never graduated.
So 10, 6, that's 16 right now.
How do you feel this space, as opposed to all the other space, are for African Americans?
20.
That right there
That's
would be 14.
Damn. Wait.
No takes back.
No, take back as the second game.
Wait. How much is it right now?
It's 14.
That was
No,
16 right
16.
now.
It's 16?
And then if you drop the 6 to 4, you'd be subtracting 2, which would make it 14. But we saw your 6'4", so you can go ahead and
You gotta
toss
put
it
it
on
back,
out there.
Oh, really? Let me just make sure I couldn't have done something better. So it's at a what right now?
It's at 16 right now.
16. I don't think I could have done any better anyway. So there you go.
I appreciate you.
Yeah, I know why.
Little sis.
Appreciate you.
Little sis. But like, finish your thought, because I have something to say off. Like, everything that Micah has
First
said
50.
that he was gonna do, he's done it. Actually, both of y'all are very similar in that way. I'm glad you guys are meeting
Yeah,
here.
I mean, I watch you
Yeah.
the way you attack things, man. Like, And that's the mentality that like, I'm like, okay, I gotta go at like that.
I
Like you have the,
appreciate
like what I like about you from a distance, I just watch as a fan is like, you attack it like you're still in college.
that. Absolutely.
You know what I'm saying? Like that mentality of like the 5 a.m., 6 a.m. workouts and like in college, you have that mentality. That's why I'm like, this dude be attacking things at that level.
So
No, 5 would have been a smart play.
I don't have a 5.
Oh, damn, that's...
Well, maybe I have a 5. You never know. You never know what
You
I
could have
have.
locked this out. That's why I tried to get you to play the 5. See, I'm still trying to help you. But, you know,
I just feel like there's
what I'm actually going to do is take this 15.
like there's a number of ways to show.
I'm out.
Ooh, 15.
So are you taking?
And another 10.
Yeah. 2020 twin. Nigga.
The score, all right, so here's the score update. 80,
Let's just enjoy conversation.
60.
No, we too close. I'm halfway to the promised land, baby.
10.
I'm gonna get that loser camera out.
I'm screaming. I'm not doing it. Look, we're all winners. No, I'm playing.
No, ain't no.
Because I know if I was winning, I would. So right now,
But no, man, I tell you what, like we talking a lot about like success and all that, but like it's not all. It hasn't just been up. You know what I mean? Like over the year, it hasn't just been up. In April, I lost $34 million. Like and that was a couple months ago.
In minutes, you said you lost $34 million?
Minutes, man. Publicly.
How?
it was crazy.
The thing about this industry is very.
Disgusting. Nickel.
Here we go. Let me see. Hold on. Let me get another 5. Just to lock it in.
You chasing them 5s ain't gonna get you to the promised land, brother. No, so you were speaking on the space. And
Yeah, I mean, so we had a product launching. Really anticipated hype release. Most intricate, advanced thing that, you know, the release in the NFT space, period.
that's another nickel. Nickel and dime hustler, baby.
There you go. Let me see, hold on.
Go ahead and get your A6 off.
I can just get another 5. Just slow and steady, keep your hand going back and forth. And on some other
I got 5 points, please.
Where?
Ros. That's a 4 points.
4? What?
What
Because
you-
the way I was seeing it was like
What
5
you could have
plus-
done is put the 1 right there and gotten 5 points.
Let me get my 5. Come on, man, give me 5. Let me get 15 points total.
All right, Ros. I'll give you your 5 points. You need it.
Thank you. Now I'm at 15. So right now I'm working with 14.
If you got big 6, you can get 20 points. Spin it.
You gonna bang it, man.
20 points.
There's your 20 points.
So,
But
okay.
listen, tell me more about what was your journey to that space and then on.
I mean, I'm from Queens. I'm from New York. We're very, very regular Queens people. You know, immigrant dad, you know, Queensy mom. She was the one that like would tape little girls' signs like, moms, bring your daughters to come play basketball. And she sent my tapes to Stanford. And like, I was always, you know, my parents instilled in me hard work and education will change your life. So like, I definitely was raised knowing, you know, eating Nigerian food, you know, being around Nigerian family. My mom was more quiet, but I am aware of my Jewish side. You know, I went on Birthright twice, once for me, once with my sister.
What is birthright?
Birthright is a free 10-day trip to Israel for anyone of Jewish descent. And for me, going on that trip, it was really wonderful because it brought me closer to my mother, who's sick. She has Alzheimer's and dementia. She doesn't talk, she doesn't walk. And as she was unable to share the stories eventually, because she had early onset dementia, so this has been for a while, I found that I was really curious to learn more about her side. And so this helped me, you know, learn more. Is it my turn? Mm-hmm. You know, it's funny, I went on my birthright and then my sister's. Okay. My sister's 5 years younger. And there was a huge difference in the tone of the birthrights. My sister's group, they were much more inquisitive. They challenged everything. They were like, you know, well, who should be invading this space? Or who owns the land? Or I heard, and I thought it was interesting for me because I was like, 5 years difference really showed the difference of like what social media, these kids have, you know, more of a platform. They have more of a political identity. They understand like their voice and things. Mm-hmm. So I felt like, you know, my group went there And we were,
Got him off the domino. Come on, Draymond.
we camped in the Negev Desert. We went, to bathe and mud bath in the Dead Sea. We went to Jerusalem and we went to the Wailing Wall, and the Jewish tradition is you put the words in and back away. Like, there was a lot of magic, no matter what religion you ascribe to, just to be there. And you feel that, much like I would say going to the motherland. Like, you land in Africa, and any country there, I feel like the ground is like vibrating, especially Nigeria. But are y'all African? Like, what's up? Have you been to Africa?
I'm from Saginaw, Michigan.
Africa.
That's all I got for you.
Indianapolis, Indiana.
That's all I really got. I know my mom is from Saginaw. My dad was born in Arkansas, but then he moved to Saginaw quick. My grandfather was born in Alabama, but then he moved to Saginaw. My grandma was born in Saginaw. That's about what I know.
Okay.
Same.
Very much so. But you're mixed race as well, too, yeah?
Yeah, but very much just Indiana.
It's on you, Ros.
Like, what is Indiana even about? No shade. But respectfully, just what is it about?
It just changed. It's definitely changed with the political climate. Like growing up in the Midwest, everybody mixed and mingled. Everybody mixed and mingled. Now, it's different. I think 2016 really kind of change things for everybody.
You feel like it's more segregated?
More segregated, more extreme, yeah. Yep.
Ros, we still need to hear about this journey through media, though.
Oh, okay. Well, you took me through my heritage first. Look.
Yeah, well, I know. I'm just reminding you, we still need to hear about this journey through media. You've been with NBC, Turner. You've been with now ESPN, Pac-12. You've done a lot, which is very impressive.
I'm doing what I love. We talked about all this tech and Web3. These are little, passion things, but my heart, my foundation is being a broadcaster. And it starts too because my number one love and the biggest vehicle in my life was basketball. So I played ball since I was 4. I've been all over the world playing or covering basketball. It took me through high levels of education. I did my master's, my bachelor's, all at Stanford under the scholarship. So, oh no.
Are you about to?
Can you pass one? Thank you. Is it this one?
Ooh!
Did I get a point?
Get the domino, Draymond. Get the domino. No. I dominoed. What you got in your hand over there?
10 total.
Oh, that's 10 points for me.
Nice.
It's great.
Glad I could be of help.
And so how long in between when you stopped playing basketball and what's your first big media job? Was that the sideline reporter for the Warriors? What was this?
Oh, so I actually came up through the Santa Cruz Warriors.
Really?
Yes, I got a G League call-up. I went to school and played ball in the summer with the guys team, and Kirk Lacob sometimes would be around because he went to Stanford. We're the same class. And he would play ball, and so sometimes they would stick me on him and us on each other when we were playing with the guys. So I got to know him. And so when the Santa Cruz Warriors started up, I hit Kirk up, and I was like, I'd love to, have an opportunity with the Santa Cruz, and I did that for a couple years, and then got the call up to the Golden State Warriors. So
you had quite a journey. Also,
what's the update?
Score update 90-90. Ros, you doing well.
Thank you.
You got 35.
You tied me right now. You got 90. Huh?
My hand is disgusting.
What is the score between y'all two?
90-90.
90-90.
I think it's all about the journey. Because, you going 4 championships. That's about the journey that, you've been satisfied after the first one.
Absolutely.
Growing up, I want to win the championship.
Right.
If you didn't care about the journey as much, you care about the end result, you would have been good after the first.
Facts.
It's all about the journey.
And you know what my biggest worry was after the first championship we won?
What?
Was that I would never experience this feeling again. And it was, at that point,
Why would that be the first thing you would even think about?
Because it was, at that point in my life, it was the best feeling from anything.
What's that feel like? What's that moment? Is clock 8 zeros? Anything?
I think it's been different, each one.
Really?
Because, again, the first thing that I go back to is the journey. The first time I ever cried about winning a championship was this one. I feel like in my older age, I'm starting to become more emotional, man. But
Definitely.
like, I've never cried about winning a championship. Or I used to didn't cry when things made me happy. Like I'd always say to people, like, I don't understand why you're crying. Like, I'm happy, I smile. As I'm getting a little older, I start to cry a little more.
Sometimes it's nice just to have a little cry session.
No, and I feel like also I've just been through more shit. And so like the appreciation for those things are just totally different. But like after winning the first one, it was such a good feeling, and I had never felt like that in my life.
Yeah.
That second 50,
You know,
110 to 90 to.
I still want my score said. Don't disrespect me.
Oh, 40. I was trying to
Thank
help you.
Draymond, you know what I wondered a lot, even during this last run? Do your feelings ever get hurt?
Do my feelings ever get hurt? Absolutely.
I thought maybe your feelings, like I was like wondering if your feelings were getting hurt during the finals. Were they?
They weren't hurt because I feel like you can't hurt my feelings if you don't know me. Like, random people saying shit doesn't really hurt my feelings, but it did rattle me. Like game 3, I was fucking rattled. I heard everything you could possibly hear in that arena. Niggas, fuck you, nigga. I heard it all. Like I've been booed damn near in every arena in the NBA. Like, that was a different thing. Like, so going into game 4, down 2-1, I'm just like, I just need to come in here and stabilize myself. Shout out to the GOAT, Steph Curry, because in game 4, it is on you.
Oh.
In game 4, I still wasn't myself, but I rallied enough to be better. And then he carried me. You know what I'm saying? I feel like his performance, and this is just what I want to think in my own head, because I know how I got his back and I know how he got my back. His performance was also I didn't get murdered. Like, we were losing that game. We were losing game 4. He did not let us lose. And if we would have lost, I would have gotten murdered. And I felt like I even got benched in game 4. Like, I got offense, defense sub. By the way, I felt like that was disrespectful as fuck. But it's cool. Like, I didn't take it personal because the only thing that was important to me was to win a championship.
Like it wasn't gonna affect you in the moment.
No, absolutely
like
not.
after the game,
afterwards,
after the championship, after all that.
Afterwards, I had to take myself to a place of like, don't go down that road. Because for me, that road can get ugly.
Yeah.
And so for me, I'm like, all right, I got benched. We won. I'm cool. Had I got benched and we lost though, I'm not sure I would have handled it well. And going through all of that, I told my now wife, I told my mama, I told my wife something different than I told my mom, but I told her, I said, along the same lines, I said, I gotta get the fuck, we had just won. I said, I need to get the fuck out of this city. But when I come back, I'm coming back ready for war. And I'm gonna murder these motherfuckers. And I went home, I had a very good game 5, and game 6, I dominated them motherfuckers. And that's what it was for me. But I had to tell myself that, like, and I had to take myself back to a place of like, who is it on? Me?
It's on you.
It is on me. Oh, that's Tim. I had to take myself back to a place of like starving and hungry and like I'm really at war. Like game 5 and game 6, I wear the same outfit.
To the court.
Black Converse jogging suit. I can't even remember the sneakers, some black sneakers. Because
Why?
in my mind, I didn't have the energy, number one, to think about an outfit.
Come on, Obama, decision
Like,
fatigue.
I didn't have it in me to think about what am I wearing today. I didn't have it in me.
I thought you looked a little sluggish.
So
No, I'm kidding. I'm
like,
playing with you.
I walked in my closet and I looked and I'm like, nah. I just grabbed a black jogging suit and put it on. But I was going into a war. So when I went into game 6, I'm like, I'm not about to think about what I'm packing. I packed a pair of underwear, some socks.
Yeah.
in the same black jogging suit that hadn't been washed or nothing. And I put the same black jogging suit on with the same shoes. And that was it for me. But I had to take myself there mentally or I was gonna fail. So to answer your question, yes, my feelings get hurt all the fucking time. My feelings get hurt if I walk in the house and I don't feel like my wife's talking to me enough. Or she,
I'd be the same shit.
like, yo, what's wrong? Like, why you not talking to me? Like, you not showing me enough love. Like, I need that. Like, this world out here is treacherous. And when I walk in this house, I need to feel your love all over me. And when I don't feel that when I walk in the house, ask her, I'm a wreck. Like, I'm just sitting there constantly like, yo, what's, like,
Me too, man.
what's wrong? Like, hey, is everything okay? Like, you all right? And she'll be like, yeah, I'm fine. And the yeah, I'm fine really take me to like, come on, man, like, you gotta tell me what's wrong. Like,
Talk to
cause
me.
I'm hurting right now. Like, I don't feel like you are showering me right now in this moment.
See, I was trending on
love.
Twitter. I
You
need
know,
you
like,
right now.
My feelings are hurt. I need this right now. It's on me.
It's on me, and I would like, oh my damn points.
Oh, that's beautiful.
Good job.
Thank you.
I'm happy you got
Can I
that
have a
point.
moment? You didn't even let me live. You didn't let me
yeah,
shine.
you live.
So give me my points. Hold on, I have.
You just got your first 50, Ros. Score is 115, Micah. I got 100. And
I have 50.
You up, Ros.
My turn.
you have 50.
Okay.
Yeah, and I'm about to domino.
4.
That's domino.
Damn, Draymond.
What you got over there for me?
I got 6.
I'll take that nickel. I need it.
It's scary to say out loud, like, oh, I'm the best, or I'm this. Or to constantly be loud in the room, because that means when you fail, people are so excited to scream it, scream about it, and hate on you. Like, if you're hating on Draymond, you don't understand the game enough, and you're not watching it close enough. But at the same time, like, people really enjoy, you know.
Oh, they enjoy
get hot.
seeing you fail, for sure. I think for me personally, though, I be needing that. Like I need to put myself out there to make myself produce. Like,
To put the pressure on yourself.
absolutely. Like, I feel like I perform my best when everything is stacked against me. And so,
Is that how are you? Like, do you need a chip?
Yeah, but it's very easy for me. A lot of people hate on me. like a lot of people always got something to say. Matter of like especially like as fast as I've gone from 0 to cover this X, Y, and Z, you got artists that like
Haters.
yeah,
Right.
yeah, and I'm like it's not that deep. Like I'm not like that. What is that?
10.
Good job.
You in your second house, Rob.
Come on, y'all. Let's go.
115 to 110,
What is the game going up to?
60, 150.
Oh, so we're almost there. This might be the
We're
last one.
almost there. This is definitely probably going to be the last. Micah, when talking art, do you have some prominent black artists that you follow or keep up with?
Nelson Makamo is an artist that I love.
Fire.
Is it my turn?
Absolutely.
Yeah, it's your turn.
More points for me.
No, that's
9.
that's no points.
That's 9, Ross.
Who that is points for is me, 15.
Yeah, no, Nelson's one. I mean, just not one, but just an artist that I've always wanted. As I'm trying to get into like more art collecting, didn't have the money to collect. So I was like, okay, Nelson, Floyd Strickland, like some artists I like. I'm looking more for like abstract black artists, contemporary black artists, because we don't see that very often. But it's on me. Yeah. I'm so like in the weeds right now, so I haven't been like observing.
So like as someone who's building in her collection, a lot of the stuff that's in my house would be places I've been, artists I met, people I know, stories that resonate, things that mean something to me. Sometimes I've been early on somebody that I think could blow. Like I think, I caught, you and bought in on the story and, maybe that could be worthwhile. But what I'm collecting is more like I'm happy to have it, period.
You like looking on your wall and it make you feel good.
Yeah, I'm happy to have it.
But art's big in the NBA. Like you guys collect more art than I would say like the average sport. You guys
It's getting bigger. The person who got me into art was Rich Paul. He started
you need
teaching me
somebody to
about
pull
art.
you in.
Like Henry Taylor. Like I have a very small Henry Taylor, but like super dope. Ernie Barnes, and then also Rich introduced me to Arthur Lewis, who's one of the biggest African American collectors in the world. Arthur has taught me so much and has turned me on to so many artists. I'm very, very appreciative of that because I've gotten in on some artists really early.
Yeah.
And not that it's about making money, but it always feels good to know that you picked something right.
It's exciting.
Absolutely.
It's
and so
exciting. I would like my 15 points.
that would be 10.
That's 10.
I'd like the 10. I want them.
All right, you got your 10. So the score is 70.
You out?
Nah. 130, 135. Okay. Uh-oh, he got that 5. Might cost you. You need 10. On you, Ros.
I would like the 5.
I would like domino. Derek Forjor, who I was speaking. Oh.
Who won?
I need 15. I need 15. Micah need 10. And you need a miracle. Derek Forjor recently just did the whole series, and it was essentially built around water and how most of us as African Americans are actually afraid of water.
Definitely.
And where does that stem from? And like the traumas of like slavery and all these things, like if you think all the way back to water, that's how we were taken away. You know, and so like he did this whole series just really on the fear of water
Wow.
that we have as African Americans. And I thought it was such a powerful
Yeah.
series.
You know, and then even just like day-to-day life, like as Black women, like being afraid of messing up our hair. We didn't swim, and then even like culturally, there's different cultures that like describe, you know, demons coming from the water and things like that. Obviously, the slave trade example is crazy, but I wish our relationship with water continues to evolve because there's this cleansing, there's great strength and power, such a great entity in this like universe, like, and then even on a very basic level, like, why should it just be like the white people having fun sailing or going on the beach
Absolutely.
and like being free and beachy and cute? You know, why can't we exist in those storylines?
I agree 100%.
And I think there's a lot of stories like that for children feeling embarrassed about the like aspects of their Blackness.
Absolutely.
You know, I was doing a different, you know, group thing, and I was talking to a lot of women and one guy about our features and how as adults, like, we've come to love them, most of us, but as kids, like, it wasn't that comfortable. And I definitely think, like, socially and culturally, like, Blackness has been like, Blackness has become more celebrated. Our natural hairstyles, our full lips, like, you know, our bodies, our curves. And I'm speaking specifically too as a Black woman. And it's funny, like, people want our lips and things like that. But back in the day, like, I've heard stories of, like, one woman shared she used to try not to smile so that her lips wouldn't look as big.
Actually, until I was 26 years old, I was afraid of the sun because I never, and maybe even 28, because I never wanted to get darker. Because as a kid, I got, like, the Black jokes were, the dark-skinned jokes were, so many of them. So the thought of, like, getting any darker, for a long time, I'm like, I can't be in the sun, I'm going to get darker.
I remember keeping my smile in check so it wasn't my nose didn't spread so much. Like,
Wow.
how crazy, how
It's
sad
nuts.
is that?
It's nuts.
And that a child is blocking their happiness because they don't feel pretty enough or something. Like, and I think this also is gender related too. So I'm just so glad that, like, it feels like society is celebrate, or at least making it a more safe space, you know, to be Black and a Black woman.
It's a fact. Go get it. Go get it.
Nope. They all over here, my brother.
Go get it. Game time, goddammit.
Woo! That was
15, that's game.
That's game?
Where is the loser Cam? Ha!
But I think a one-on-one is in order.
Wait.
I think a one-on. No knock on Ros or nothing, but you know, just kind of threw off the flow.
Where did you think you fell short today?
I honestly fell short with just the level of attention I was paying early on.
I appreciate you, Rod. Hold that L.
Bring it to the table, let me show you how to win. This is for my players from the barbecues to the pit. We came to have a good time.